In 2023, the government embarked on a major push to improve Jamaica's public thoroughfares. All 4 lanes along the Harbourview to Yallahs Bridge leg of the Southern Coastal Highway were opened for use. As part of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Program SHIP, the National Works Agency NWA began the multi-million-dollar lighting component along the road from Harbourview in St. Andrew to Yallahs in St. Thomas. The 17-kilometer stretch was outfitted with 400 light poles. Several other milestones in roadworks and highway expansion were achieved.
It gives me great pleasure to officially open the Maypen to Williamsfield Highway.
The vision is to create a transport network that is safe, efficient and reliable to meet Jamaica's economic and social needs.
When we look at what we have achieved in terms of the new social housing program, to date we have over 177 units constructed, and there are 57 more units under active construction at varying levels of completion.
I am very elated because this is a dream for me and my family.
It is my fervent commitment to have this done for every single Jamaican.
The delivery of houses continued to be the priority of the National Housing Trust.
The progress achieved and the government's commitment to build 70,000 houses. With current developments completed, under construction, in negotiations, budgeted, or in planning and design, we have in train 57,212 units of the 70,000.
A new interest rate band was introduced and took effect on July 1, 2023. At the same time, the NHT loan limit was reviewed, with single applicants now given access to $7.5 million, up from $6.5. A single contributor buying a house valued at $12 million may access up to $8.5 million, while 2 persons applying jointly can get funding of up to $15 million. The NHT policy allowing up to 3 contributors to co-apply for a single NHT scheme unit bearing 2 bedrooms or more was revisited. Other loan limits and minimum wage housing grants were also increased from $2.5 to $3.5 million. And the increases continued, with the ceiling band for the Housing Microfinance Loan Program more than doubling. The maximum loan limit for the program moved from $1.5 million to $1.9 million.
So you can see that the NHD is trying to find all ways possible to give our low-income earners an opportunity to own their homes.
The National Land Agency (NLA) undertook surveying, mapping, adjudication, valuation, and registration of 1,000 parcels of land in St. Elizabeth for the National Irrigation Commission project.
We have been involved in the revision of the policy framework and procedures manual for divestment of government-owned lands.
What we are doing is to establish ownership in a formal way, using the systematic registration of title.
We would have looked at and implemented projects that focus mainly on community upgrading, beautification, and transforming the images of urban communities, and through that we have done the zinc fence removal. We have looked at installation of solar lights.
And construction of the new Morant Bay Urban Center and the Port Antonio Bound Brook Industrial Estate were far advanced in 2023. Water was big on the agenda for 2023.
In the pursuit of our articulated water goals, in the tabling of the National Water Resources Master Plan for Jamaica, and the tabling of the Rainwater Harvesting Planning Guidelines. 30 new Isuzu pickup vans valued at $200 million were added to the NWC fleet to boost its operations island-wide.
We have committed to ensure that the National Water Commission has the equipment it needs, has the skill sets it needs, but we know that with skill sets you require the appropriate tools.
3,000 black tanks with a capacity of 400 gallons each were distributed under the pilot phase of the Rural Water Household Resilience Program. Several water projects were commissioned throughout the year.
In St. James, we commissioned 300,000 gallons of secondary storage in the community of Adelphi, creating significantly more water resilience for the community there. A notable environmental organization acknowledged Jamaica's standards for forestry stewardship. Only country in the Caribbean to receive that.
Government came close to hitting the target of planting 3 million trees in 3 years, despite the extreme drought which hampered the process.
As at now, Jamaica has planted 2.7 million trees.
The ministry has been able to advance our policy agenda, the biosafety policy for Jamaica, the updated climate change policy framework, and the emissions policy framework for Jamaica.
A draft watersheds policy was approved as a green paper.
In addition to advancing the policy agenda, we have declared 3 new protected areas under the Natural Resources Conservation Authority Act, the Cockpit Country Protected Area, the Petrokeys and Surrounding Waters Protected Area, and the Black River Landscape and Seascape.
In the year that was, climate resistance and climate adaptation measures came in for priority attention.
We have also commenced the electrification of our government fleet, starting with 100 buses to be delivered in 2024, with other sectors to follow.
And the progress?
Jamaica is now preparing its national adaptation plan, and we are exploring initiatives at the local and subnational levels.
On the meteorological side of things,
we have managed to develop our network of weather stations across the country, just so that we can properly monitor what is happening over the country and around the country.
And with evolving technology,
we have pioneered the development of our climate change portfolio across the country.
We have also very recently launched our Jamaica Systemic Risk Assessment tool in collaboration with the Planning Institute of Jamaica and Oxford University.
The Bushfire Index was launched to aid in finding where vulnerabilities are nationally and how those may impact any kind of infrastructural damage that may take place.
You would very much appreciate the usefulness of knowing with some certainty where bushfires may occur.
We are determined to continue the transformation of key development drivers in this country. We will continue to foster an environment that will drive growth. We will prioritize the development of our infrastructure as the key pillar toward achieving our modernization goals.